yesterday, I made a video talking about the suspension from production and being broadcast of the popular ITV daytime show, The Jeremy Kyle Show. Things have progressed far quicker than I expected, and to be honest, it's a little bit surprising the route that this has gone down. As I made the video, I uploaded it yesterday, and this morning at 10 a.m. or just after approximately 10 a.m. anyway, the announcement was made by ITV that the Jeremy Kyle Show has been permanently axed. For those who don't know what this is, the Jeremy Kyle Show is a UK talk show, very much as I said yesterday in that video, very much kind of the same as the Jerry Springer and other types of those similar programmes, where Jeremy Kyle has supposedly real working class people come on that have some kind of issue with other person or people. It's the usual kind of daytime talk show kind of things that it's lie detectors, DNA tests, arguments about money issues, various issues between family members, friends, occasional reuniting long lost family members. It's that kind of same kind of stereotypical thing. It's like Jeremy Kyle Show, but like the Jerry Springer Show, but very much more conservative. And I know in those kind of programs, especially over the last couple of years, they have become quite a lot more conservative in what they're allowed to broadcast. Any fights or anything like that are not allowed to be broadcast anymore. What happened was that a guest who recorded a show about a week or two ago passed away just a few days after the episode was recorded. Now, this put a lot of pressure onto ITV and the Jeremy Kyle Show, and as I said in that video yesterday, production and broadcasting, even on ITV's ITV Hub, which is their on-demand service, had all been suspended, all episodes removed from that service. And like I said, at 10 a.m. this morning, ITV made the statement saying that they had permanently decided to end the production of the Jeremy Kyle Show. This is the full statement that was made. Now, I believe it was made, if I can just find, it was made by ITV's CEO Carolyn McCall. It doesn't have it on the web page that I have now, but Carolyn McCall, the CEO of, yes, this ITV CEO. Basically, this is the statement given saying, given the gravity of recent events, we have decided to end production of the Jeremy Kyle Show. The Jeremy Kyle Show has had a loyal audience and has been made by a dedicated production team for 14 years. But now is the right time for the show to end. Everyone at ITV's thoughts and sympathies are with the family and friends of Steve Diamond. The previously announced review of the episodes of the show is underway and will continue. ITV will continue to work with Jeremy Kyle on other projects. Now let's go through this a little bit. Given the gravity of recent events, well, like I said, we did hear that a guest just yesterday. Basically, the story was that a guest had passed away very shortly, as I said, within a few days of the episode being recorded. At that time, we didn't know the details. We didn't know what the situation was, who the guest was, their location, where they lived, whatever. Very shortly after I recorded that and uploaded that video, I saw a couple of newspapers, online pages, online website, stating basically the whole story of who this Steve Diamond was, what happened to him. It's actually his ex-partner that spoke out. She kind of was telling the story to at least one or two newspapers. I'm not going to go into what the story was because I don't feel comfortable doing that because I don't know the full situation. and only what I read was kind of from one side. So I'm not going to go into what was said on those. People can search out for themselves if they want to. But there's a lot of things about his depression and various different aspects of what happened in his life. But certainly it seemed very quickly yesterday. I was out all day yesterday and all day today. There seemed to be suddenly a tremendous build-up of pressure on the Jeremy Kyle show, and I said it yesterday in that video. To be honest, I kind of expected the show to be what's called retooled, or kind of maybe changed slightly a little bit. ITV to do a review into the episodes that were highlighted, especially the one that that gentleman was on, and maybe they would kind of redo their like I said yesterday, redo their processes and protocols about how guests are treated before, during, and after the filming of the show. Obviously, that has not happened, and ITV have moved pretty quickly, really made a lot quicker than I expected, and this has taken me slightly by surprise. I thought the show would be just changed a little bit, processes, everything changed, and then she'll be put back on the air. But ITV have moved pretty quickly to axe the show. It has had a good run of 14 years, but I do think they kind of feared the general opinion of the general public, in my opinion, my own opinion, that such a show is. I think the public opinion is changing on the shows. It's just like many of the reality shows. Some of them, like Big Brother, which started out as a kind of a serious kind of scientific project. I can't remember what the exact wording is, but it was a kind of an experiment, social experiment, I think it is actually they called it. But the kind of attitude towards these kind of programs, these chat shows, it's changing. Part of that is because it seems, I kind of hinted at it yesterday, but let's be honest, many of these shows, and I genuinely hope this doesn't affect a show like Judge Rinder, which is a completely different show, but I fear that they may get some kind of flashback on this, unfortunately. That's kind of a Judge Judy-esque type thing. I'm just using these references so people know what I'm talking about, but these kind of programs, honestly, I think they really do encourage a lot of these feuds and arguments and situations to continue on. And obviously, I mean, you kind of understand if you kind of want to try and place yourself in the makers of the program's shoes. They need to have continual guests to make the program. So instead of really encouraging, say, person A and person B has had a disagreement, falling out over person B maybe perhaps allegedly has stolen some money or has cheated on person A with person C, Z, whatever, it doesn't matter. A lot of people getting the opinion these days that these kind of programs are encouraging, rather than people sitting down like an adult and talking through the problems, or going to counselling, or seeking proper professional help. They're encouraging them to, don't just take care of it privately. Get all your dirty laundry out in public. Hang it out all on the line for everyone to see, and do it in our studios with our cameras, and let's us make entertainment, so-called, out of it. So I think a lot of the public opinion has changed a lot on these sorts of programs. Certainly from what I've looked at social media, there's been lots of similar comments by various people in that kind of regard. They say they will continue to work with Jeremy Kyle. As I said yesterday, he's presented a few other programs for them. To be honest, continuing that kind of relationship, like I said, I don't think it seems that it was his. I said yesterday that it might be Jeremy Kyle's call to end the show, but I don't think it was. I think it eventually was taken out of his hands. We did hear a little bit of Number 10 is concerned about the reports about the show. Number 10 is 10 Downing Street, where the Prime Minister lives. They gave out a statement saying we're very concerned to hear these reports, but to be honest, when something kind of blows up like this, this in the kind of gallery of public opinion, that's what the government tend to do. They tend to kind of, which way is the wind blowing in terms of general public? Yeah, it's blowing this way, so we'll put out a statement towards this way, not that way, which is what we think. They tend to do that all the time, so I didn't really pay attention to that. It's the Conservative Party. I don't really. But talking of the kind of government, though, there will be Damien Collins MP, chair of the Digital Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee, said the broadcaster had made the right decision, saying, however, that should not be the end of the matter. There needs to be an independent review of the duty of care TV companies have to participants in reality shows. And it does seem, from what I was reading after they got back about an hour or so ago, that there is going to be a committee looking at this sort of thing. Whether that report will be made public, it probably will be, because they'll, if they do a proper kind of independent review thing, then a lot of the television networks like ITV and even BBC and the various news outlets will be pretty much demanding a copy of that report. So I would assume if they do a thorough actual kind of, not just a quick review, but a really in-depth report or review of these kind of shows, including Love Island, which is coming up. About two contestants have passed away since appearing on the show, but I think it was about 2 years after their appearances on the show. That's been brought up as well. So I kind of, in my opinion, sitting here right now is kind of, I just got back, so this is kind of rushing a little bit to kind of quickly do this video. I think there will probably be a full review, and the results of this should be made public at the end of it. So ITV has moved quickly. I think they've feared like I said, the gallery kind of a public opinion going really against them. I do felt, let's be honest, I will be honest, the Jeremy Kyle show was a huge show for ITV. It really was. For them to act such a programme, which, as I said, been quite popular. I know I got one comment in the last video that, put it on Sky Channel or something, that so that people have that provider, or Virgin Media or whatever provider, those who have that channel can watch it, and then others who don't want to do. But it's already that way anyway these days. Like I said, I've been out the last 2 days, but I could have come back and, well, not now, but if it's still been on, I could have downloaded it from the on-demand service or watched it on the on-demand service, and caught up with today's or yesterday's or episodes or whatever, or watch whatever episodes are available to watch. So that's already the case with television these days. It's completely different to even a couple of decades ago when it was regularly scheduled programming. You missed it, you missed it. So it's always already completely different. So it's kind of no surprise, but I will be interested as we go forward looking at this to see whether we do get a full, complete, in-depth investigation into such reality shows, see what that report says, and see how the general public opinion goes from here.